Good morning guys, it's Karen and I'm here to do a review on the French tip extensions, so these by Kiss. I'm also going to briefly mention the Kiss French wrap kit just because they look pretty similar. I don't want you to get the wrong thing. This one is much more expensive and I want to give you kind of so you can figure out when you would need this and when you would need this, because when I was in the shop looking at them I wasn't really sure, I was a bit confused. So I bought both of them and this is much more expensive and it's for a completely different use. So what I'm really talking about is this though. I normally do a single product review video either when something's new, because I know you guys will want to know, is it worth the money, etc. and there's not many reviews out there, or I do it when I love a product, and I do really love this. So I'm going to give you a demo of this as well. I'm not sure when I'll put the demo in, but I will do a demo at some point. I've got my little spreadsheet here. I've done it a little bit of a different way in that I've put pros and cons, because there are some downsides to this, but I'll talk you through them and it's not something that would put me off buying them. I've bought some more. I'm probably going to wait for the 3 for 2 offer in Boots to go on, and then I will buy 3 for 2 because that would be really useful, and I'll explain why. So they're called the Kiss Professional French Tip Extensions, and they come in this French manicure white, pure white, or they also come in a natural, whereby it just would look like your normal nail and it's ever so slightly a French tip, but they're a natural French tip. So I have actually got one of the naturals, and I think that would be better if you are intended on painting your nails. If you just want to extend your nails and put polish over the top, the natural ones would be better. If you like that French tip look, these would be better, because if I put most polishes, you'd see the tip through this. So unless you were using a really dark polish, you wouldn't be able to cover those tips. So let me just quickly tell you the difference between these two then. These are actually tips. So they are extensions, nail extensions. It's like going to the salon and having an extension to your nail. So this is for you if you've got short nails, short or non-existent nails. And that's actually why they appealed to me, because you may remember in other videos, I cut my nails very short because some of them had split, some of them had broken. I've been doing painting and sorting out of things, and I just cut all my nails short. So when I saw these, I thought, oh, if they work, that would be really nice to have long nails again, and especially to have a French manicure, because it's something I always kind of struggle to do. I don't really ever seem to get the hang of drawing the whites on, or, you know, I've tried the strips that you get from Boots with the Sensation nail kit. It doesn't work for me. So I was interested in trying it. So these ones are for short nails. This, however, is a French wrap kit for if you've got a long nail. And I have tried this because I did have 2 long thumbnails. So I tried this on my thumbs. And all this is it's the white tip. Now it's a bit more than a varnish. It's a little bit more solid than any other white tip that I've used. You know, like you can get white tip stickers, but it's not an extension of your nail, and you couldn't use it that way. You could not extend your nail with this. So this is if you've got long nails and you just want to do a French manicure. And this comes with all the gel products. So you get a base coat and a top coat. Well, it's not gel as such, but you get the glue, the tips, and the base and top coat to seal it in, and this is supposed to last for 2 weeks, but then so is this. But this does not come with the gel. Although this is a gel extension, you have to use your own gel system. I really like that, because I wouldn't have bought this if it came with all the gel, because it would have been much more expensive. And I think the reason it comes like this is because they know that people are using at-home gel polish systems now, and so you can use it with that. So I really like that about it. Actually, I've not put that down in my pros, but I do really like the fact that you can just buy the tips and you don't have to buy the lamp and the gel. You can use whatever system you want, gels, acrylics, whatever. Use whatever lamp you want, but these will work with it. So I think I told you they came in natural or white, didn't I? They're £7.99 for this, against £19.99 for this. So there's a big difference between these two as well. I'm not sure. I guess this is so much more expensive because it comes with the gel type products in it. So like I said, nearly £20 for that, and these are £8, which is really good. And when you get them on the 3 for 2, that would be even better, because it would be £16 for 3. The claim is that they last for up to 2 weeks. I have had these on now for a week and a half, so they're starting to look a little bit, they're not looking perfect. You can see, you know, the gel's coming away at the bottom. The tips have got a little bit of like discoloration on them from whatever it might be, from me cooking with turmeric, or I don't know what that little extension, maybe makeup, something like that. But they have lasted. One did chip off on this finger. But that was more my rough use than a problem with the tip. And actually that brings me to the first con. I'm going to tell you about the pros and cons, and I'll tell you about the cons first. And the first con is that it's difficult to find the size that you need. Actually, thinking about it, before I tell you about the cons, let me tell you how they work. So what you can see from the distance is just the tips, and I'll not take one out and show you it because I show you in the demo, but you hold the end of the tip and there is the French tip, and then there's another clear little well. And you basically just glue that onto the end, twist that end off, and then put gel on top of it. Now, that's pretty much how gel tips used to work, but you used to have to glue the tips on and then buff it in so that you didn't see the join, you know, because it's only halfway down your nail. You've got the tip, which is the end of the nail, and then the extra little well. And you used to have to file that and kind of buff it in and keep putting acetone or something on it to help it mould in, and buff it again. And you had to keep doing that in order for it to be an invisible join. When I looked at the instructions of this, there was no instructions to do any buffing or anything. And I was a bit dubious about that. I thought, I'm not sure that that's going to work. I can't see how you won't see the join and it will still be strong. But I have to say it is. It definitely is. So, because I was tempted to buff, and in fact I did buff on one and it just took some of the weight off, so it definitely doesn't need buffing. So all you do is you hold it by the tip of the nail, which is actually the number, which corresponds to the number and size that you need for your nail. So you hold the tip, you put glue in it, you put it on your nail, and then you just twist off the end so that you've not got that little knobble thing on the end. And then you put whatever gel system you like or acrylic on top of it. And that's, like I said, what doesn't get supplied with it, you just use your own. So for me, I'm using the Harvey Nichols Red Carpet Manicure Lamp, and I've got Harvey Nichols Red Carpet Manicure Gel Polish, and I've also got a Boots Sensational one that I'm using. You can just use one. If you're using the Boots one, they do a gel base and top coat. I think it's £15, so you can just use that. You don't need to use any other one. I was using a Harvey Nichols one that was supposed to be a little bit pink. I don't think it actually looks pink. It probably is slightly, but I was using that, so I needed to put a top coat on top of that, and it probably would have been better actually to put the base coat on, then the colour, then the top coat, but you know me, I'm the impatient type. So hopefully that explains how to do it. Like I said, I will show you in the demo and that'll probably make more sense to you. So I was talking about the cons. Each of these has a corresponding number and it's for the size of your nails. So there's 24 tips in here, and obviously you've only got 10 fingers. So the idea is that you can get a full set out of this packet, and then there's going to be ones left over that are just not suitable. That works absolutely fine. However, when this one broke, I didn't have one left in this size, and so that's why that finger has ended up looking a bit, I don't know whether you'll even see it from there, you might see it when I'm doing the demo, but this one looks a lot wider than this one because there wasn't the right size for that tip. The other thing is, although they're all okay size-wise, but I think I used, let me think now, I think it was like a 7 for this one and a 6 for this one. I could have, to make it perfect, I could have used a 6 on these two and a 6 on these two, but you only get 2 6s in the packet, so I had to use a 7. I hope that makes sense. It means that you won't get the exact 100% perfect size for each nail, but it's certainly not, for me, it's not a deal breaker. Again, with the little nail, I could have done with something smaller. I've used the smallest one, and it's a tiny bit too wide for my nails. I could have done with something smaller, but it's not a deal breaker. It still looked nice when it was put on. So that was the first con. The second con, I'm going to go through these cons and you'll think this doesn't sound like a good product, but it is. These are just things to be aware of and be careful about, you know. So the second con is that it does split if filed. So what I thought when I put this nail on was, I know what I'll do, I'll file down the sides of it because it's too wide. I'll file it down. I didn't want to file at the top, I just wanted to file the sides. And if you do that and don't put gel over the top, it splits. So it means that the gel separates from the nail tip. And I think that that's because the nail tip is not buffed, so it's not a rough surface, so it doesn't adhere very well to the gel. So even without filing, a couple of them have sort of looked as if they're gonna split, but I think that's because I didn't seal the free edges. So when you're doing the gel, it's really useful if you can remember at the last little stroke, the tiny bit of on your brush, go down the sides and go over the top. And if you're going to file them, either the top because you want them shorter or at the sides because it's not the perfect size, go over them again with gel, you know, do all your nails, file them how you want, and go over with another coat of gel and just seal the free edges at the side so that it won't split and come off. The only other con I've got here, and it's not really a con for me, is just that it needs a lamp, because I just feel like some people might buy this not realising that you actually need a lamp and you need gel to go with it. So it's not a system within itself. For me, that's actually a pro. I've put it in the cons list just so that people realise, you know, because like I said, I like that. I like the fact that you can use your own system with it. So on to the pros. Firstly, it's easy to use. It's really something that you don't need to be particularly dexterous. You don't need to have a steady hand, because you don't need to hold anything for very long. You don't need to be particularly skilled, as in there's no buffing to get rid of the line. It really doesn't show. I was really super surprised at that. So you hold the end, you put the glue on. The only thing with the glue is you need to not put too much on. You hold it on, it's literally within seconds it's got, you know, it's glued down, but you do have a few seconds to maneuver it into the right place, and you don't need to actually push it onto your nail until you can see that it's straight. So you've got a few seconds. You know, if like me, sometimes I'm a little bit shaky, I can sort of wait until it's in the right place, put it down, and then it will adhere. So very, very easy to use. It looks professional, I think. I don't think that you would necessarily know that I did this myself, you know, especially when it was first done. I didn't want to do the review when I first did it because I thought I couldn't tell you then how long it would last. Like I said, I've had this on for a week and a half, so it's not, it could do with brightening up, and I could probably buff this down and put on another layer of gel, and that would kind of refresh it, you know, as if it was growing out as normal. My thumbs are not great, but that's just because of the way that I shaped them, because one of them broke, but again, that was me being rough, nothing to do with the nails. And also I cut them down because I don't like having long thumbnails. Still on the pros, it lasts well and protects nails, and I've said so far it's a week and a half. So having this on means that for me, the only way I can ever grow my nails is to have gel polish on them, to have a gel layer on them, and then they grow out. So with these on, I will probably file this down, like I said, buff over it and put another gel coat on, and then I might put a dark polish over if I'm fed up with the manicure, you know, the French manicure, if I don't like the look of it. But this is the way that I will grow out my own long nails, and then when they're longer I will probably use this French wrap kit. I probably wouldn't buy this one again, to be honest, because I have gone through, I think, 3. They don't seem to stay on very well for me. They did seem to peel a little bit. But I haven't given them a proper run. And then the final pro is that they're inexpensive. A $7.99 for this I think is really, really good. If you don't have the gel and the lamp, etc., then the initial outlay is going to be, I mean, I think this lamp is about £100. And then the gel from Harvey Nichols or Boots, you know, even if you just get that one thing from Boots that's the gel base and top coat, that's £15, I think. So you'd have the £15 and the lamp. But if you already have everything, £7.99 to get a full French manicure is, obviously you'd pay a lot more than that. You'd pay probably, I think it's about £40, isn't it, if you go to a salon. So it's inexpensive. So I really love this. I'm really, really impressed. I'm impressed with how long it's lasted. I'm not easy on my nails either. I do use my nails as tools, even though you're not supposed to. You know, I just don't think about having long nails because I don't want to. I don't want to. If I have something that's going to prevent me doing the things I normally do, it's not for me, you know. So I think that's everything there is to tell you about it. So I'll show you the demo just now and then kind of give you my final thoughts. Okay guys, so as you can see, this thumb's done, these other nails are done, it's just this thumb that isn't done. So what you need to start with is what you get in the kit, which is you get your glue. I've just got odd glues around, but they do come in the kit. You also get a nail file in the kit, so you need that. You might need your little, what do you call these, not cocktail sticks, you know what I mean. A buffer is useful but not essential. You do need some cotton wool. You need your prep, or this is called Purify. This is the pre and post application cleanser for the gel that you're using. Then you'll need your gel. I'm using the Red Carpet Manicure gel polish in Nervous with Anticipation, and then the clear transparent colour gel polish. This is the base and top coat from Boots, the Sensational one. You could just use this, you don't have to have this top coat. And then of course you need a lamp, and I use the Harvey Nichols Red Carpet Manicure one, the the more expensive one that takes less time. So the first thing we're going to do is use some of the prep. This Purify it's called, sorry. This one is £4.50 from Harvey Nichols, but I've got it in a decanted bottle here. So I'm just going to use my cotton wool and get some of this. I'm not sure I'd use this again actually. This seems to dispense quite a lot. And then just clean your nails so that it's just taking off any kind of dust and marks. In fact, what I should have done is lightly buffed it beforehand, but that's okay because I've buffed that yesterday, and then I was going to film this yesterday but then didn't, so I know that it's buffed. If you're buffing it, you can either use this or very, very lightly use the softer side of this just to create a little base, a little rough edge to put the nail on. So let's just wipe that dust off again with that pre and post. Then you need to find the nail from the pack. So you can see they're in all different sizes. You need to find the nail that fits your nail perfectly. So this for me is the one that fits, and it's number 1. I think I can get away with number 2 as well. So what you're looking for, I don't know whether you're going to be able to see that from me holding it there. You're looking for it to fit whilst almost sitting at the end. You don't want it overlapping the end of your nail on either side, and you don't want it to be within, you know, shorter. So you wouldn't want it to be, for example, like that, because that would be too short if the nail didn't fit, and you don't want it to be like that overlapping. You want it to fit exactly on like that. And you can see there's this extra little well bit that I thought would need to be filed but doesn't. So you're going to hold it by the little tab like this, and then get your glue. And you're going to put the glue, I don't know whether the glue will come out of this. This might take 2 tries because this glue might be a bit dried up. But you're going to put glue just in the clear bit that you can see. You're not going to put it on the white tip. You're just putting it in the clear bit. Yeah, okay, so you need to be very careful that you get the glue on very quickly. Don't squeeze out too much, which is something that I often do. Then, again, using the tab, turn it upside down. And the best way is to point it upwards like this. And then just sort of slide it on, and you do need to work pretty quickly, and then it's going to glue almost instantly. So this is what we've got now. So just leave it for a few minutes to set, if you like. I'm just going to wipe some of that glue. I always tend to get too much on. For me, it's just, you know me, I'm heavy-handed. Just press down that corner. So when it's on like that, you just need to twist off this tab. It won't pull the nail off. It's nice and strongly on there. And I'm just going to separate my skin where I've put too much glue on. This is the problem if you put too much glue on, so you really do need to be careful. Okay, so that's what you're left with. So as you can see, it's already pretty disguised, the little well bit of the nail. So all you need to do now, you don't need to buff it at all. That's what I was surprised at. There's no buffing involved. You just need to put on your gel as you normally would. So we'll do that while we're here. So what I would do now, normally I would buff it at this stage, but in fact I will give it a little buff, but I wouldn't recommend really doing this. It's just that I've got glue like on my nail, so I don't want it to prevent the gel adhering to this. This is not to buff it in at all. So I'll wipe it again with that Purify. Then I always use a prep. This is just the Harvey Nichols one again. It's £5 and it's just the one that I like. I think I could probably buy the solution from the internet. So I just put that all over my thumb. I'm not specifically putting it on the end, but it doesn't matter if it goes on the end. Oops. And then I'm going to put 1 layer on of this, like I said. So I hope this is all in focus for you guys because I can't do it twice. So I'm just going to paint on 1 layer. I hope the door doesn't go as well because I've got somebody coming to do something. So paint over the top. I am going to shorten this nail because it's way too big, but I want to make it a bit stronger with some gel first. Okay, so here's my lamp. So I'm just going to put my thumb underneath it and press the button, and that will go, I think it's 45 seconds before mine's dry. I think you can, for the base, actually leave it only on for 30 seconds for the base nail polish, but this one is actually a top polish. But if you were using this, you could do 30 seconds, then do another layer, and then do 45 seconds with this. Okay, so that's that one coat of this. You don't want to use your purify in between, because this is not a base coat or a top coat, it's just your nail polish layer. So I'm just going to go straight in with one of these base and gel coats from Boots, and I've just dripped some onto my vanity unit, which is not so good. And then you're going to go under the lamp again, and that's it gone off. So we can now use our purify again and just wipe that off, and it'll be nice and shiny. So okay, so at this stage you can either just file it if you only want it a little bit shorter than that, but I want it quite a lot shorter than that, so you're going to use nail clippers. I forgot to say at the beginning that you would need nail clippers, so I'm going to take quite a bit of this off. I don't actually always bother with my thumbs, so it was quite handy that my thumbs were left so that I could show you how to do this. So that's me just clipped a bit off, and then I'll just take a nail file, or you can use the one that comes with it. Let's see how strong it is. Yeah, it's not too bad actually. The rough side is okay. It would take longer than I would. I want to round it to match my thumbs. Like I said, I'm not really bothered about my thumbs. I do like the square look, but this one kind of split and I had to make it rounded, so I'm going to make this one to match. What I didn't show you there was sealing the free edge, which is, you know, I'm thinking most of you, if you've got gel, if you're looking at something that is a gel nail polish procedure, you'll probably have a lamp and you'll know what you're doing. But when you're putting your final top coat on, what you should do is use the brush and go along your free edge. So just go along there to seal it in. So from that point of view, you could do this, file it if you want to file and shape, or you want to reduce the length, and then go in and put another coat on, because I have found, as I think I'll probably say, that they do split if filed. So it would definitely help to put on another layer. I'm not going to bother just now, because like I said, it's only my thumb. I'm not really that bothered about it. And that is the little demo. It's not the most perfect result on the thumbs, but you can see the fingernails look much better. So that's the demo over. I can't think of anything else to tell you. I would totally recommend these. I think they're worth the money. I think they're well worth the money. I think that if you can wait until the 3 for 2 offer is on the nails, it kind of goes in a circle between hair, skincare, cosmetics, nails and accessories in Boots. If you can wait for that, it would be useful, because you then get, although you'd have to buy 2 lots, but you get 3, you pay for 2, you'd be able to have the exact sizes you need for probably 2 really good manicures, or 3 anyway, you know. I don't know if that made sense, you know what I mean, because of the size issue that I said. So yes, totally recommend it. Wish we had more Kiss USA products here, because there's a lot more on the website. There's some nice nail wraps and stuff that we don't have. I don't know whether they do it anywhere else other than Boots. I've only seen them in Boots. So yeah, that's everything. I'll tell you what I've got on my face. I've got the YSL Fusion Ink Foundation in BD40. I've been using that a lot lately and loving it. I've got my Bobbi Brown bronzer on in medium, which I'm also loving. On my eyes, I used Bare Minerals blush, it's called. It's kind of a satin. Most of the Bare Minerals loose eyeshadows, the pigments, are shiny. And this one, I've got this one and Soul that are kind of a satin sheen, and I just love it. I think it's really, really pretty. And like I said, it's called Blush. And then in the outer corner, I just used a little Diego Dalla Palma, yes, single eyeshadow. It's got a number. I don't know what the number is though. I can list it down below, or let you guys know if you want. On my lips, I've actually got Twig, which is a dark colour, but I've got it very, very lightly. And then I kind of powdered over it and then just put a bit of lip balm on top, so nothing particular. And then on my cheeks, what was the blush I used? Oh, I used my Clinique Ice Lotus. So that's everything. I hope this was useful to you. Let me know if you've tried these, if you're loving them as much as me. And if you've got any questions, leave them below, and I'll speak to you again soon.